Phrygian. What is it? What does it sound like? How do we use it? Recently I was playing an old song, an old gospel song, which I'll show you later on the piano. And I did a couple of things which made Phrygian suddenly click. And having guitar as my first instrument made it even easier to understand. Now, I've seen a lot of videos about the modes. I've seen videos about Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Locrian, Ionian, Mixolydian, Sabaean, etc., and so on and so forth, right? And so it's always confusing. It's like, but what does E Phrygian mean? It just the C scale, playing it starting from an E. What does that mean? And then it clicked. As a guitar player, anybody who's gotten their hands on a classical guitar, voila. And I started playing this when I was 6. Not this guitar. That one didn't survive. I made sure of that. But similar to this, you start with E is one of your first chords, right? E, A, you start with the open chords. E is one of the first chords you learn. And you think you're doing like flamenco and you go, ole, right? And so you think you've done something. And it turns out you have. Let me draw your attention to a keyboard. In a second, we'll go back to the keyboard where on guitar we have a E, G sharp, B, right? There goes your E chord. But if we move those half up on the piano, visualize it on the piano, and we're going to do it in actuality. F, A, C. Those are white keys. G, B, D. Those are white keys. So if we think about an E, starting on an E, and then we play F, A, C, and G, B, D, G, D, B, we've done white keys there. We've done the 7 keys of the scale already. F, A, C, G, B, D, and we've done the E also. Those are all white keys on the keyboard. Huh. Phrygian. Still may not make sense. So we're going to try this on a C, and we're going to observe the intervals, and we're going to make sense of this, and we're going to try to play over it. Let's go. Okay, Phrygian. Let's start with what you probably have already seen in other videos, right? You've probably seen they start with C and they talk to C Ionian and D Dorian, E Phrygian, and you're like, wait a minute, that's just minor, isn't it? Well, the way they actually present it is Ionian, right? And then they D Dorian. You're like, oh, you're still on the white keys, and then E Phrygian. And it's like you're just doing the same thing on a different key. Here's what they're failing to explain. So I was playing this old song, this old hymn. Holy, and I landed there. And that doesn't sound bad. You would expect it to land on. Right? Sounds resolved, sounds settled. But that's not too bad either. And I thought, you know what? there's other things I can do there as well. Let me see. That works, right? And that's just voice leading right there. But having hit that, that made me think quite a bit. Why does that work? And I was thinking, although that's not exactly Phrygian, let's see what's happening with Phrygian. Remember what we did when we were on the guitar, when we did that? Remember that? Now, here's the thing. I told you with the F and the G, we are covering the notes in Phrygian. Remember when we did this? E Phrygian. And that kind of didn't make sense, but let's think about it. We're starting E. When I did the F, we did these. When I did the G, then we did these, right? So in addition to F now, to E, now we have all those white keys again. That's interesting, isn't it? Okay. Well, let me show you something about Phrygian here. Phrygian is actually, when they say E Phrygian, it just doesn't mean C starting on an E. That's not what it means. That means you're on an E. And you're doing that. Now that has an interesting sound. That's interesting. That's much more that didn't make sense much, but when you put it in that context, I know you'd like that. You'd like that. I know the surf. But that's not what it is. That's a Phrygian. Now, it might help, at least it helps me, to see this on C. So what are we doing? We're starting on a note here. We're going up a half, and then we're going up 3 whole notes. 1, 2, 3. So we have half, whole, 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 half, whole, whole, right? So if we do that the same on the C, and we do half, whole, 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 half, whole, whole. Remember that was Phrygian. That was C Phrygian. Maybe that'll help you understand. That was wrong. And that's what Phrygian is. Another way to think of it, actually, here's an interesting way to think of it. So note that E is 2 whole notes above the C, right? 1, 2. So if you press a transpose button, for instance, this may not be the best way to think of it. If you're going to play, if you transpose 1, 2, 3, 4 up, right? If you transpose 4 up, right? You're on a C, and if you transpose 4 up, you get an E. I don't even know how to transpose on this keyboard because I've never used it because I don't do that. But think about it. 2 whole notes, right? If I transpose this up 4 half notes, 4 2 whole notes, I get an E. If in order for me to get the C while it's transposed, I have to actually bring it down 4. I would have to play on an A flat. That part may be a little confusing. The point being that if I go down those two whole notes, I get an A flat, right? And if we look at it more carefully, we will see that those notes of that A flat are the notes in C Phrygian. Sounds weird that way though, right? But that's one way to think of it. In order to play the Phrygian scale over wherever you are, go down to whole notes. So if I'm on a G, I haven't even tried this before, but if I'm on a G and I want to do a Phrygian over this, I could, let me see, half whole, whole, half whole. I could try to do that, right? Or I can think, okay, two whole notes down is an E flat, right? And if I know the E flat shape, that gives me that. Then the notes in E flat. So that's one way to think of it too. Back to the C, of course. Phrygian. It's probably easiest on E. That's Phrygian.